Last Sunday, for the first time in the city of Indianapolis' history, the start of a pro football season had great significance. While the NFL is beginning its 65th year, Indianapolis is embarking on its first season as the host of a professional football team. The Colts had more or less worn out their welcome in their old hometown, so they were anxious to make a good first impression in the Hoosier Dome. Unfortunately for the Indianapolis Colts, New York Jet guard Stan Waldmore, number 70, was just one of the obstacles stalling the Colts' attempts to make good. While perfect pass protection allowed Pat Ryan time to hook up with tight end Mickey Schuler for 2 scores, Colt quarterback Mike Pagel wasn't afforded the same luxury. The new rule refraining the enthusiastic Mark Gastineau from celebrating after a sack could prove most detrimental to opposing quarterbacks in 1984, because now number 99 has that much more energy to rush the passer. Number 51, Greg Buttle's touchdown recovery of a Gastineau forced fumble boosted the Jets to a 23-14 win. Despite the loss, the Indianapolis Colts are still the talk of the town. This isn't the glamorous Great White Way. It's sparkling, glittering New Jersey, the new home of the New York Jets, who have already given their regards to Broadway after 24 years in the Big Apple. The Jets now reside across the Hudson River, and their regular season debut as hosts at the Meadowlands was made memorable by a 97-yard kickoff return. The performer was number 84, Bobby Humphries, who inaugurated the second half of play against Pittsburgh in show-stopping fashion. Humphries produced the Jets' first touchdown from a kickoff return since 1973, and it gave the former New Yorkers a 14-13 lead. But the scene quickly shifted from high heroics to low comedy. Pat Ryan's fumble resulted in a 55-yard gift to the Steelers when the visitors recovered on their own 13-yard line. 3 plays later, David Woodley sought out a 6'7" giant who bears the unlikely name of Ouija. Rookie wide receiver Ouija Thompson, number 87, helped the Steelers to a 23-17 win that evened the team's mark at 1-1. While Pittsburgh spoiled the Jets' opening night at the Meadowlands, the Green Bay Packers... The Cincinnati Bengals were poised to win their first of the season when quarterback Ken Anderson hit tight end M.L. Harris with an 80-yard touchdown pass 18 seconds into the second half. The score put the Bengals ahead 16-13, and the winless Cats looked like they had a few lives left after all. Then the roof fell in. Compliments of Jet defensive end Mark Gastineau, number 99. Gastineau led a New York surge that sacked Anderson 5 times and helped force 4 interceptions. For number 99, the sack dance is a thing of the past. No flaunting, no taunting, just a slip of the tongue. New York bounced back with 30 second-half points as Jet quarterback Pat Ryan enjoyed the most effective and efficient game of his career. His scoring pass to tight end Mickey Schuler gave the Jets a lead they never relinquished, thanks to a running attack powered by Freeman McNeil, number 24. McNeil's 150 yards on the ground accounted for 2 touchdowns, while insurance was provided by Bruce Harper, number 42, who added 6 more points in the final period to end the rout of the still winless Bengals 43-23. Not since 1968, when Richard Nixon was campaigning for his first term as president. With the Bucs. Up in Buffalo, the Bills and the Jets were butting heads with each other in a main event that made the Meadowlands clash seem like a preliminary bout. Bills and Jets rivalry is a long and fierce one, and this year's first renewal could have easily ended in a TKO for both of them. And not the team in the white trunks decided that their victory could only be achieved by turning this barroom brawl into a graceful ballet. Once the punches ceased and the pirouettes began, it was the Jets who showed the fastest hands and the flashiest footwork, most of it courtesy of wide receiver Wesley Walker, number 85. After visiting the end zone just once in his first 3 games, Walker teamed up with quarterback Pat Ryan and exploded for 3 touchdown catches as the Jets pulled out a 28-26 victory over the winless Bills. Point-wise, this would have been last Sunday's closest encounter had it not been for the seesaw sparring session that took place under Detroit's Silverdome.
At one time, the job of a young NFL quarterback was to warm the bench and study his craft from the sidelines. But times are changing, and in just his second year, Patriot quarterback Tony Eason has been promoted from part-time backup to full-time starter. Last Sunday against the New York Jets, Eason made his second start since taking over for Steve Grogan, and he continued his on-the-job training by tossing the first of his 3 touchdown passes, this one to tight end Lynn Dawson, number 87. Dawson's score tied the game at 7-all in the first period as New England had trouble pulling away from New York. For under Pat Ryan, another former backup, now fully employed as a number 1 quarterback, the Jet offense has been soaring above all expectations. Ryan was on target 20 out of 31 times, throwing for 297 yards and 2 touchdowns. But these numbers paled against the shining performance of the young Patriot quarterback, who lit up the Meadowlands skies for 354 yards. This third-quarter touchdown bomb to number 86, Stanley Morgan, was the difference as the Patriots downed the Jets 28-21. While Tony Eason was solidifying his new starting position, the Washington Redskins were up to some of their old tricks.
The New York Jets, fueled by the rush of Mark Gastineau, number 99, stayed in the race in the AFC East with a 1-point win over the Chiefs. Heavy blitzing and a 15-yard touchdown pass from Pat Ryan to tight end Mickey Schuler provided the edge for the Jets, 17-16. Locked in the cellar of... Cleveland struck a portrait of repose. The pregame was the only time things were looking up for the Browns. Once the action started, number 99 Mark Gastineau was zeroing in and looking down on quarterback Paul McDonald. Jet quarterback Pat Ryan has fared much better. He has benefited from good pass protection, and he also can choose from a stable of fleet-footed, thoroughbred receivers or plow horses like tight end Mickey Schuler, number 82. When Schuler didn't quite make it into the end zone, the Jets confidently saddled up their workhorse, Freeman McNeil, number 24, the AFC's leading rusher. McNeil's 2 touchdown runs harnessed a 24-20 victory for the Jets and dropped the beleaguered Browns to a 1-6 record, further reducing their odds of making any move in their division. Mark Gastineau sacks quarterbacks like audiences clap during the presidential debates, rudely and often. Barbara Walters and Edwin Newman thought the applause uncalled for throughout the debates, but the Chiefs' Bill Kenny found Gastineau's rebuttal even more annoying. After the debates were over, both sides claimed victory. There was a clear-cut winner in this one, however, for when tackle Tom Baldwin jarred the ball loose from Kenny, this issue turned in favor of the opportunistic Gastineau and his Green Party. Sam Donaldson would have surely favored the Green Party, for they were unpredictable, brash, and bold, showing weakness in their opponent's defense strategy. Throughout the broadcast, the Red Party resorted to blitzing tactics, but each time the Green candidate was prepared and scored some important points of his own. When the debate had ended, the networks polled the nation, and this one was a Green Party landslide. Jets 28, Chiefs 7. It's now the halfway point, and you can bet these Sunday debates are bound to heat up. Second place was at stake in Foxborough, where newly installed Patriots head coach Raymond Berry prepared to test his considerable football knowledge against the New York Jets. But when this game began, it was the visitors who seemed to have all the right answers. Number 24, Freeman McNeil's 53-yard run set up the Jets' first touchdown, a 2-yard pass to tight end Rocky Cleaver from Ken O'Brien, who had replaced shaken-up starter Pat Ryan. New York mounted a 20-6 halftime lead, but the Patriots always seem to get started when their chances appear to be finished. After the intermission, New England began another comeback caper, this time behind the running of Craig James, number 32. Last year, James was a highly publicized USFL draftee. This season, he has scarcely merited a footnote in the Patriots' game plan. But with 79 yards on 10 carries against the Jets, James was a major factor in a second-half Patriots resurgence that was also keyed by Tony Eason, number 11. Eason unscrambled the ferocious Jets pass rush with his knack for throwing on the run and by revealing an occasionally unorthodox passing touch. The Patriots continually came up with plays that seemed to have come from a Hollywood script rather than a Patriot playbook. After officials negated this apparent touchdown by ruling that Eason had been in the grasp of a Jets defender, the unfazed quarterback found number 81, Stephen Starring for a fourth-quarter score that gave New England the lead for keeps. The Patriots moved into a second-place tie with the Jets in the AFC East with a 30-20 win that was their fifth come-from-behind victory of the season. As for Tony Eason, he has made so many deficits disappear into thin air that New England fans can be excused for believing that he possesses a magic touch. Pro football, but they spent a large part of last Sunday looking out for the Miami Dolphins defense. Pat Ryan was dumped 5 times in a contest that saw Miami jump to a quick lead when Dan Marino and Nat Moore, number 89, teamed up for a 37-yard touchdown. Throughout 1984, Marino's initial aerial barrage has brought opponents to their knees, but the Jets remained on their toes, and the Dolphins suddenly found themselves with a fight on their hands. This was the second consecutive game the number 24, Freeman McNeil, produced a 50 yards plus run from scrimmage. And the Jets followed it up with the only first-period touchdown registered against the Dolphins in 1984. After number 85, Wesley Walker, even matters at 7 apiece, the New York defense took charge, intercepting Marino twice and recording a pair of sacks. The Jets' ability to scratch and claw kept them in this tooth-and-nail contest, and with less than 10 minutes remaining to play, McNeil provided them with a 17-14 advantage. The scrappy Jets brought a childlike enthusiasm to this very grown-up game of football, and on one occasion they even appeared to be playing spin the bottle. Nat Moore was the bottle. But But this battle didn't break, and neither did the Dolphins. Marino overcame a shaky first half to finish with 422 passing yards, 47 of them on a fourth-period bomb to Mark Clayton, number 83. The Dolphins' 31-17 victory didn't come easy. They threw everything they had at the Jets, and the Jets threw everything they had right back at the Dolphins. When the throwing was over, Miami's record stood at an immaculate 10-0. At the Meadowlands, the monsoon-like conditions were so severe that nearby Newark Airport had to be temporarily closed. And like those planes that couldn't fly, the weather kept the Jets' offense grounded. Before Jet quarterback Pat Ryan was able to find a warm and dry place in the locker room, he suffered a concussion, and it was obvious that he probably stayed in one play too many. Actually, neither team could generate much offense in the soggy going, but it was a Colt player who turned in the catch of the day. In a game that featured no touchdowns, the Colts came away with a 9-5 victory that even brought a smile to the normally stern-faced Frank Kush. Well, why not? At this point in the season, Indianapolis can only play the role of spoiler in the AFC East. And by handing New York its third straight defeat, the Colts certainly slew whatever chance the Jets had of making the playoffs.
Rusty Gilbo. The injury-ravaged Jet. Standouts on the kickoff and punt coverage teams included Rusty Gilbo, Nick Bruckner, and Jim Iliopoulos, number 52. Rookies such as Russell Carter, number 27, gave the
New York Jets 17, Miami Dolphins 28. 4 more touchdown passes by Dan Marino, whose total of 36 equals the single-season record set by Houston's George Blanda in 1961 and the Giants' Y.A. Tittle in 1963. This was the pass that tied the record to tight end Bruce Hardy. That win means that Miami are champions of the AFC Eastern Division, and confirmation also there of New England's record of 8-5, 1 win less than the Raiders in the West.
Fans with split personalities jammed into the Meadowlands last Sunday to watch a contest that was tailor-made to induce confusion and Mad Hatters everywhere. New York's Giants were playing New York's Jets in a New Jersey football stadium. And throughout most of this battle for Big Apple bragging rights, the Jets demonstrated a little to brag about. Hands of stone plagued the Jets, and so did the iron-willed defense of the Giants, who made number 31 Marion Barber the unwilling participant in a stripping act that could have played in a Times Square burlesque house. Miscues like this were a key reason why the Jets were down 17-0 by the third quarter. And when the Giants weren't jumping on Jet mistakes, they were pouncing on Ken O'Brien. But when the gutsy O'Brien rebounded to connect with Lamb Jones, number 80, the Jets made a respectable accounting of themselves late in the game. Jones' touchdown brought the Jets to within 10 points of the Giants, but they were unable to overcome a lead that had been forged on the strength of touchdown runs by Rob Carpenter and number 20, Joe Morris. There's an old saying that a house divided cannot stand. But by the time the Giants had sewn up a 20-10 victory and earned themselves a first-place tie in the NFC East, those in attendance had their hats turned squarely toward the Giants' side of the field. Minnesota fans haven't been quite so ecstatic about their team or its new coach. New York fans watched in amazement as the Bills threatened to hand the Jets their 7th straight defeat. Number 59, Stan David, helped Buffalo to a 17-7 halftime lead, but in the final 30 minutes, the Bills were buffaloed and held scoreless while Ken O'Brien ignited the second half surge with the help of Wesley Walker. Walker's big catch inspired the Jets to a come-from-behind 21-17 win, capped by Tony Page's 3-yarder up the gut. It is generally true with teams like Philadelphia, Buffalo, and the Jets that with the pressure of making the playoffs lifted, football becomes more daring and free-spirited. But down in Tampa... Last Sunday in Tampa Stadium, John McKay paced the sidelines for the final time as head coach of the Buccaneers. Although his players' farewell gift was wrapped in the win column, the game was marked by the kind of frustrating moments which had characterized McKay's 9-year reign. While the New York Jets couldn't take credit for Steve DeBerg's inadvertent bobble, the defense assumed full responsibility for this miscue, thanks to Barry Bennett's convincing impersonation of a one-armed bandit. Although the Jets exhibited some big guns on defense, quarterback Ken O'Brien's rifle arm simply misfired for much of the afternoon. Once O'Brien becomes more comfortable with the intricacies of the forward pass, he'll have to learn to tackle the subtle nuances of a handoff. The Jets helplessly watched any hopes of victory slip away as they could do little right. Yet once the Buccaneers settled down, it appeared they could do nothing wrong. Berg's 18-yard strike to Jerry Bell, number 82, assured that there would be some much longed-for celebration in Tampa. But the man who had the most to smile about was the Buccaneers' superb all-purpose back, James Wilder. Wilder's accomplishments may have been overshadowed by the record-setting seasons of Walter Payton and Eric Dickerson, but number 32 still produced the third-highest total yards from scrimmage figure in league history, and is en route to his first Pro Bowl appearance. Wilder's 2-touchdown, 163 total yards performance sealed the Jets' fate. All in the day's work for this once underrated athlete who has earned the attention and respect of players throughout the league. While James Wilder's glory days are just beginning, the McKay era has drawn to a close. The only coach the Bucs have ever known wrapped up his career with a 41-21 pasting of the Jets. Just the perfect going-away present.